In today's video, we're going to be talking about Bitcoin as well as the S&P 500. But first, let's just talk about the stock market as a whole. Across the board, all three of the major indices, the Dow, the Nasdaq, and the S&P 500 all ended the day in the red. But that doesn't matter to me as a long-term investor. I know that there's going to be days like that. Looking at my own $10 a day portfolio where I've been investing into VTI, I'm down on the day 0.34%. But as an investor, when I look at the big picture, my total all time results in that same portfolio, I'm up 32.61%. So, this is why I keep going. On those red days, I'm glad to buy. If it's an investment that I know I'm holding for the long term, that is a sound investment that I see the potential in long term, then I'm just getting it on sale on that particular day. So, when it comes to Bitcoin, we're going to be talking about them on the road to $100,000 and some increased price targets when it comes to the S&P. But before we get into it, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, give this video a thumbs up and put on that notification bell so that you can be updated on all of my upcoming videos and live streams. And check out my links for the platforms and resources that I incorporate in my investing journey. They'll be in the description and pinned in the comments. Okay, so now back to Bitcoin. And we're going to start this off with a clip from Good Morning America because this is the kind of week that we've had. It's in the mainstream media, and they are trying to teach us how we can navigate investing and getting a better understanding of Bitcoin. So check this out.
A look at the money pouring into cryptocurrency following Donald Trump's election win after he promised to make America the crypto capital of the planet.
We are seeing cryptocurrencies shatter records. The price for one single Bitcoin topped $87,000 for the first time Monday. And for context, it was about $68,000 1 week ago before the election, so up nearly 30%. What is fueling this rally? Well, investors expect that President-elect Trump and a likely Republican-controlled Congress will take a more friendly approach toward regulating cryptocurrency.
But what should people know about buying Bitcoin?
Okay, so there are a couple key things to know when you're buying Bitcoin. You can do it in two ways, either as a form of cash or as an investment. So if you're using it like cash, this is not a physical coin. It's a digital money. You can directly exchange it with other people online without going through a bank. You will have to download what's called a digital wallet where you can convert your actual US dollars into cryptocurrency. And then once you have that digital wallet, you can make payments to some limited merchants. Second option is to invest in crypto in the same way that you would invest in stocks. So you would put money into a Bitcoin fund. You'd use a trading platform like Fidelity or Schwab, and about 17% of Americans have done this. That's 1 in every 5 people, roughly. Let's say you invested $1,000 in Bitcoin a year ago, based on a gain of 138% since then. That money would be worth almost $2,400 today.
All right, so as you heard them say, Trump wants America to be the crypto capital of the planet, and we will see if he gets what he wants. Let's take a look at the price of Bitcoin as of the time that I am recording. On the day, we hit a high of 89,771. It's currently $88,128. And I'm filming this on Tuesday night. So it's been a week since the election. Over the last week, up over 26%. We were at $69,000 a week ago, and now we're pushing 90,000. So back to the Crypto 101 lesson from the morning show. They also were stressing that you should start small, expect volatility. There are no guaranteed returns, and it may be difficult to track your funds. They were referring to if you have a digital wallet, you have to be able to keep track of it and access it. It's not as easy as, resetting a password on the websites that we use on a daily basis. And when it comes to merchants now taking Bitcoin as payment, here's a few examples. Detroit has become the largest city in the US to start accepting crypto payments for taxes and other fees. AT&T now accepts it for bill payments. And you can also pick up your AMC movie tickets with Bitcoin, Ethereum, or other coins. Not anything that I would do considering the potential growth of Bitcoin. I'm going to hold on to my Bitcoin. I don't want to use it to pay bills with the anticipated value that I am trying to gain. I am holding it. I'm not using it for any type of currency. Let me know in the comments if you would ever consider using your current Bitcoin in order to pay bills, or would you, like me, strictly be holding it for the potential of hitting $100,000 and beyond. So, Bitcoin's growth has been amazing and it's been picking up speed even faster than analysts or, of course, I would have anticipated. We're now seeing these price predictions of $100,000 much sooner than later, which is great for Bitcoin investors like me. I'm not holding a large position in Bitcoin, but I am glad that I had some exposure to it and have increased on the slight dips that I was able to catch over the last week. I have increased my position even more. So, as we can see, the demand is high and institutional interest is rising. And we've seen that with these major corporations, potentially even Microsoft. So now let's move on to the S&P 500, maybe something more basic and in all of our portfolios. So when it comes to my portfolio, I do have more exposure to investments that track the S&P 500 than I do in Bitcoin. So I am glad to see that this is also on the rise and also has increased price targets. The S&P 500 is one of the most popular indices for both beginner and established investors. And now there's an exciting new price target when it comes to this index. Analysts have raised their price target to $7,000, expecting this to happen in 2025. This projection has sparked a lot of conversation because we're currently sitting at around $6,000. So let's talk about a few factors that are leading to these optimistic price targets. But here are a few others. We're seeing that there is a potential for it to hit 6,100 in 2024, 8,000 by 2026, and 10,000 by the end of the decade. So, if crypto is not for you, if you don't want to have any exposure or limited exposure, don't feel like there's not growth potential if you want to stick to those more mainstream investments, mutual funds, ETFs that give you exposure to the S&P 500 because there is growth ahead for us there also. Okay, so now back to why are experts raising their price targets for the S&P 500 so high? Let's go through a few factors. We have corporate earnings growth. First, corporate earnings have been stronger than expected. Many companies in the S&P 500 have adapted well to recent changes, things like supply chain issues, inflation, and even recent changes to interest rates. These earnings give the index a solid foundation to continue climbing, and certain sectors like technology, healthcare, and financials are thriving. Another factor is the growth of technology, specifically AI. Major companies like Microsoft, Nvidia, and Amazon are all pushing the boundaries of what's possible with AI, and investors are increasingly aware of the long term growth potential there. So we're seeing lots of growth across those sectors. So, another factor is rising investor sentiment. Basically, this is when people are so eager to jump into the market that it pushes stock prices up even faster than expected. So, this is what analysts are expecting right now, or we could be seeing soon with the market surging as investors anticipate continued growth with this change in administration. So now let's take a look at VOO. This is an investment, an ETF, exchange traded fund that I have in my portfolio for exposure to the S&P 500. So how can we make the most of this potential growth in this area? By choosing an investment like VOO, SPLG, or FXAIX, you will get a low expense ratio and exposure to the 500 largest US companies. If you're already invested into an ETF like this, think long term. The new price target is for 2025. So if we just stay steady and not allow ourselves to be shaken out of our positions and stay consistent with our investing, the market ups and downs are going to be normal. But over time, a well-diversified index fund that gives us exposure to the S&P 500 has historically delivered solid returns. We can just stay the course and continue dollar cost averaging, deciding on how much we're going to invest on what regular basis, whether it's daily, weekly, on payday, whatever works for you. Just make your plan and stick to it. Staying consistent with that type of approach smooths out the price that you'll pay over time. And as we can see here, you definitely will have built-in sector diversification. Yes, technology is leading the S&P 500 because it is weighted by market cap, but you get a large range of sectors, including financial, healthcare, industrial, discretionary, energy, and more. So there's been a shift in the top US companies currently being led by NVIDIA, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Meta, Google, Tesla, Broadcom, and Berkshire Hathaway. So none of the price targets are guaranteed. They are estimates, they are analysts' predictions and forecasts. But I'm just going to stay the course with my investing and just take into consideration that the price targets may not hit when I or these analysts anticipated. There are other factors to consider: economic uncertainty, market sentiment, and global events that could make things come about more quickly or take longer than anticipated. But as long as I continue investing, I will be in the market and ready to reap the rewards when the time comes. Okay, so that's it for today. Let me know your thoughts on Bitcoin on its trail towards $100,000, as well as new price targets for the S&P of $7,000 and beyond over the next few years. For me, both are examples of the potential that I will see from being a long-term investor. If you're already on this journey, stick with it. And if you're not, get started. I'm Lisa J. Stocks. Thanks for watching. If you're ready to open up a new account, check out my referral links for Webull and Moomoo and consider joining channel membership. Leave me a comment letting me know your thoughts on today's update. Okay, bye.